Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we'll be into the GARP Challenge Worst Generation utilizing the Mono Quick team. So the first team is a double Akainu team. That was the team. Those are the supports. Let's dive in. Now, there is only really one notable support on this particular team, and that is actually the support of Rare Recruit Treble on our Sugar unit. We do have Smoker on Kaido, but look, it's not essential because like at the end, we still have our Dead Beard special or our 6+ White Beard special. So it's not that essential anyway. But if you are running this particular team, you do need to make sure that you have the support of Rare Recruit Treble. Big thing, you need to make sure you have Treble. If you don't have the support of Rare Recruit Treble, you can replace the Sea Monster. Utilizing something like Nightmare Luffy will actually work a little bit nicer for this particular team. The Neo Clash one, that is. If you do have the support of, what's his name? Of Treble, like you can run this particular team. And it does work quite nicely. But, like I said, Neo Clash Luffy will work well. You could probably use something like Clash Zoro. I think there's like an Oars character as well. You could probably use Oars. He's immune to blow away as well. You could easily put him down the bottom. He doesn't provide you with anything else. Unless he does damage, you could use the Smoker support, I guess. But, nevertheless, you do have other options. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Once we hit the stage 3, we come up against Capone, Bonnie, and Apu. They are going to give us remove sound effects. They give us a right-hand side of recovery orbs, left-hand side of bomb orbs. They basically make healing, like, do damage, and if you get the bomb orbs, you do damage. That's like the whole gimmick of this particular stage. But we are running Zunisha, as we do have a full powerhouse cerebral-based team. And if you're not an absolute spoon like myself, you'll actually hit that last perfect, and you'll actually kill Bonnie. But I'm a spoon, and it doesn't matter anyway, because we have Akainu, right? Once you take damage with Akainu, you apply the burn ability, and it just makes this particular content so much easier. The strength, dex, and quick I do find to be a lot easier than... Honestly, like, this GARP challenge is not, like, nowhere near as hard as, like, what I initially made it out to be. On my Japan account, it seemed a lot harder because I didn't have access to, like, every single unit in the game. But this particular content, it's not as hard as it first seems, to be honest. And with strength and quick, we have access to Versa, Akainu, and Ace, which means we can actually, like, get around this, like, damage threshold that your Rogue puts up. This particular stage against your Rogue, as I've been rambling on in all of the all of my videos of this, is the most arrogant piece of like, it's so arrogant. Putting up a damage limiter is just so bullshit, man. You can only do 500k, then a mil, then 1.5, and after 1.5, you get normal attacks only. But thanks to Versa, Akainu, and Ace, you can actually use their burn mechanic, and you can actually get around it. You can get around it with stuff like Poison as well, or you can use the cheese method of, like, Zoro and Kaido. If you haven't checked out that Dex team, by the way, make sure to go find that. I'll try and leave a link in the description, because that Dex team, like, I'm never running anything else besides that Dex team when it comes to the Dex version of this GARP challenge. Like, just, there's no way in hell. Once we hit the next stage, we come up against Killer and Zoro. Now, Zoro is sort of just chilling, where Killer has a 3 perfect barrier. They put up 4 turns of threshold and 4 turns of end of turn damage. So this is where you do need the support of Treble. You can use the special of the, what's it called? The Sea Monster to remove 3 turns, and then you can use the Sugar special to get around the rest of it. But if you use Nightmare Luffy, like, Nightmare Luffy gives you an attack boost to your powerhouse characters. He's going to remove all of it anyway. So there is that option. You do have Oars, as I mentioned, or you could use something like Clash Zoro. Clash Zoro is not going to work that nicely, purely because, like, you will get color affinity for your driven characters, and this, like, whole team is driven based, which means that you aren't going to hit very hard on the Killer unit, but because Sugar goes through barriers, it does work very, very nicely. Once we hit the next stage, we come up against Blackbeard. Unfortunately, we don't get the carryover effect of the Sea Monster because, like, the Hobby fruit doesn't give perfects, it gives hobbies, which it's kind of stupid if you ask me. But against Blackbeard, he does damage, he blinds your recovery, but because he does damage at the start, you actually can get the burn mechanic. Unfortunately for us, when you do enter this stage as well, you get that orb, like, barrier. But with Versa Akainu, it's usually not an issue because you do get quick orbs. Me, myself, though, I got absolutely shafted with orbs. But lucky for the Zunisha giving us recovery and Teen orbs matching, and Sugar making in orbs matching, we can actually, like, just, like, scrape through with this particular team. Honestly, this team has so much damage. Like, as long as you have, like, 3 orbs, you're pretty much good anyway. On the final stage against the Onigashima Trio, they are going to captain swap your middle row. Unfortunately for us, we had Sugar get swapped, but like I said, like, this team has so much damage, it doesn't really matter. But if you do get Kaido as your captain, you can actually use his super typing, and then you can just do some absolutely stupid things. You can use, like, his special to get double damage. We have the Smoker support for a 1.75 times attack boost, which isn't essential, as I mentioned, because you still have Whitebeard. Whitebeard can give powerhouse characters that 2 times attack anyway. And this whole team besides Sugar is Powerhouse, so that does work nicely. If you do use something like Oars, he's immune to blow away as well, so you can easily use him in the bottom slot, and then you have to worry about your characters getting blown away. But the Sea Monster doesn't have blow away, so we do end up losing him. We do get a bunch of damage to Law because of the double damage debuff, and we don't have normal attacks only. We can use the conditional boost of the Akainus to get a 1.75 condition. We have an attack boost, we have an orb boost, we have chain lock. This team just works so damn nicely that like it doesn't have any issues taking out the Onigashima trio. Remember, the Akainus have Barrier Pen too, so you can just easily devour Luffy. No issues whatsoever. Quick is just an absolute monster now thanks to Akainu, and if you can build the team right, he does not struggle one bit. So that's the double Akainu team. We're going to move on to the next team now that only uses a friend captain Akainu for you poor son of a bitches that actually don't have this particular unit. Alright, so the second team looks a little bit like this. It is led by our boy, Super Type Kaido, with a friend versus Akainu. So that's the team. Those are the supports. Let's dive in. Now, the team looks a little bit different, but like it's not that much different. The only notable support for this particular team is actually the support of Legend Ace on our Whitebeard. And you will notice something about this Whitebeard. It's not actually the 6+ Whitebeard, it's actually the 6-star Whitebeard. The big difference between the two is the 6-star Whitebeard actually does damage, which means you can use the Ace ability, like support ability, and it works really, really nicely for this particular fight, as we do want to lock those orbs and abuse the orb seal mechanic. This particular team runs better if you are utilizing the Sea Monster, because we have the super typing of Kaido to remove 2 turns of threshold. The Sea Monster is really good here because we can actually get that carryover effect. But again, you could probably use Nightmare Luffy if you really want to, but play to your strengths, right? Like, get the orb boost from the Sea Monster. He's a really good free-to-play unit. If you haven't farmed him up, like, if he's available in the Recollective Archive, I would highly recommend farming this unit. Like, he's a very, very good unit. On the first 2 turns, like, just sort of make your way through it like normal, and then once you hit stage 3, we come up against the worst generation, or the start of the worst generation. We have Bonnie, Capone, and Apu. They give our right-hand side recovery orbs, left-hand side bomb. They remove sound effects, and they make healing take damage. You guys know the drill here. If you eat bombs, you die. Well, you don't die. Bombs hurt. Recovery orbs hurt. And you're just in for a bad time. We are using this Zanisha once again, so you can hit perfects, but I would highly recommend like taking 2 recovery orbs and like taking 2 bomb orbs. That way, you can actually take a bunch of damage. If you take a bunch of damage, you'll trigger Kaido's special. That way, you can easily take out Bonnie or Apu. It doesn't matter which one, to be honest. Like, you have so much damage here. And that way, you can actually drop your HP close to the 50% mark, which means that you can get close to utilizing the super typing of Kaido. Once you move on to the next stage, we come up against your Rogue. Now, this Rogue stage is just so damn arrogant. The damage limiter is so stupid. I actually hate it so much. But thanks to utilizing a friend versus Akainu, we can actually cheese our way around it. He does about 9,000 damage per turn, which is so annoying because it's like just short of actually getting the 10,000 to auto-trigger Kaido's like special. But if you guys do get any recovery orbs here, like you see here, I would highly recommend just eating them because it is going to like deal damage to you. You're going to do over that 10k, and that way you're going to auto-trigger the Kaido special. If you do that, you actually get a full board of orbs, and then what you can actually do on this particular stage, I actually don't do it, but I was thinking about it when like after I did it. You can actually utilize the Whitebeard special to lock those orbs. If you guys don't get a recovery orb like myself, you can easily use the Sobama special first, then use the Whitebeard special. Sobama can get his special back by the final turn, and you will be in good stead if that happens. But luckily for me, I actually got 2 T&D orbs, which the Zunisha makes matching. Akainu increases the chances of you landing on quick orbs as well, so there's also that. But thanks to the support of Ace, we can actually get a 2-turn orb block, which works really nicely for the last turn and this particular turn. Once we hit this particular stage, we are going to use the special of the Sea Monster, followed up by the super typing of Kaido to remove the threshold, and then we can use the Whitebeard special to get that orb lock if you didn't already use it on the previous turn. With that orb lock, the 2 turns of orb lock, we can actually hang on to a full board of orbs here, and that way we can sort of just devour the stage and move on to the next stage against Blackbeard. Now against Blackbeard, he actually gives us the orb barrier. That orb barrier is normally very annoying, but for this particular team, it works really nicely because we had the orb like lock. And that way we can actually get the orb, like all of our orbs just exactly how we need them. Entering the stage, we can actually get the Kaido special. So that way we can get just a bunch of free damage. And because he does damage to us, we actually get the burn mechanic as well. We are going to use the Sobama special here for an attack boost. We have the carrier of the orb boost. As you can see, Nami's not essential there at all. Like, so don't even worry about that Nami special. We are going to use Cracker. Cracker is literally just free damage. You don't have to use Cracker here. Like, you can save Cracker for the final stage. Like, honestly, like, saving Cracker for the final stage is probably better because, like, you just don't need the damage against Blackbeard, and, like, getting the damage against Law is probably a little bit nicer. But as you guys can see, this team sort of, like, tears through it. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you probably can't do that Whitebeard trick that I mentioned, so maybe scrap that, or let me know in the comment section below if that actually works. The 2-turn orbs might get cancelled out thanks to the interrupts and whatnot, so it is what it is. But Cracker's sort of here, 6+ Cracker, because I've never used the unit before. He's a 4.25 times Captain, attack boost 2, Powerhouse characters. This whole team is Powerhouse. So I thought he would just work really, really nicely as a placeholder for the middle row. Against the final stage, against the Onigashima trio, they are going to captain swap your captain with character in the middle row. And it doesn't really matter which one you get, because Sobermask, you can actually get the jump ability. And that way you do that extra, like, 1 million damage to Luffy, which is super cool, because, like, you just go through the barriers. With Akainu, you have an orb boost, you have a chain lock, you have an attack boost with either the Sobermask special, because you can get that back, as you guys can see there, or the supporter smoker, whichever one works for you guys. And with that, like, we can just absolutely decimate this particular stage. This team has so much damage, and it actually just works really, really well. So I was super impressed. So for you son of bitches, you poor son of a bitches, I should say, that don't actually have versus Akainu, that team will work absolutely fine. But that's going to wrap up the video for you today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt that like button for me. If you're new to the channel, hit the big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Later.